He's also interested in our exports, particularly wine. He knows that I think 27% of wine on our shelves here in the LCB are from Chile. In fact, we went out and did some field testing while we were there. we stopped at two locations, one on Saturday and one on Sunday, not with the president. And I had Skip Bryan, who's the chairman of the LCB, with me. And we would like to see greater trade. Now, this gets me over into my other favorite subject right now, the sale, or getting us out of the business of the LCB. If we were out of the business, if the private sector were in the business, you would see, I think, even more trade with Chile and other states, not conducted by the state of Pennsylvania, but conducted by the different companies in Pennsylvania and outside Pennsylvania that would distribute to Pennsylvania, and would be determined by the taste of Pennsylvanians. What do they want? Do they want Chilean wines? Do they want Pennsylvania wines? Or we push Pennsylvania wines, California wines, French, you name it.
Okay, it's interesting to me though, because this trade, this encouragement of trade in terms of the wine industry would seem to me, just at first blush, to work far better if in fact you keep the state store system rather than privatizing, because there's no guarantee if you privatize that in fact the businesses that put together the retail aspect of the retail locations are going to know about Chilean wines or purchase them. Tell me why I'm thinking about it the wrong way.
When did life give you guarantees?
But it's money, and we're trying to make money. I assume this is one of the
Well,
things that you
okay.
said.
Do you believe that once we privatize, that there is going to be less consumption of wine? No.
No, but I believe...
In fact, the argument of our opponents is quite the opposite to that.
But I believe that we all go for what we know best. And what we know in wine, although clearly the Chilean and Argentine wines have risen in everybody's mind as an option, what we know best is, California wines and French wines. So if I'm setting up a storefront, that's what I'm going to purchase more. I'm not going to know, Ricardo, as you do, to say, oh, Chilean wines, what can we do?
Well, I think in that regard, go into a state store sometime and take a look at how the wines are displayed. A regular state, not one of our wine state stores, but a regular state store. And they're going to be displayed, by country. Mm-hmm. I would think the private sector is going to do the same thing. But I think the private sector, and you got two different ways to look at it. If we have beer and wine in grocery stores, it's going to be pretty much standard, X numbers of beers and X number of wines. They might have some Chilean wines, they might have some French wines, that's to the average everyday consumer. To the mom who's walking her kids in the stroller, not wanting to go into a state store in the first place with her kids, walking down the supermarket lane, saying, I need a bottle of wine for dinner, maybe I need a bottle of wine to make some Marsala, and then I need to, my husband needs a six-pack of beer, or I need a six-pack of beer, put that in, it's the convenience. But for the people who are drinking wine, to enjoy wine, and particularly with their meals, they're going to be going, I think, primarily to what I see as more of the private stores that would be wine stores. So it really is the free market playing out, and that's what I encourage. I believe the free market can do this better than government. There are some things government does really well. Public protection, government does really well. But being in retail business, I don't think government does a very good job of that.